Well, the budget always used to be in March. It's now officially been shifted until the autumn. So what we get now is a spring statement. But be in no doubt, what is coming this Wednesday from Rishi Sunak in the House of Commons is the equivalent of a budget. And it's a very important budget. Now, in some ways, the economy is in better shape than many of us ever hoped it could be. That's certainly from a government perspective. Why do I say that? Well, I say that because income, partly because rising prices, VAT, means more revenue, but actually tax receipts are much better than the government, frankly, had expected. Unemployment is very low. It's below 4%, and many sectors actually struggling for staff. Add to that growth this year, which is 3.6%, which is better than expected, and the government boasting we've got the best growth rate in the G7. What they forget, of course, is that we had just about the worst one last year. But all of those things are quite good news. But look ahead, and the growth forecast is a miserable 1.3% for next year and expected to stay at those pitiful levels for quite some time. Have a look at the cost of living crisis. There's no doubt we're facing the worst crisis in that regard since the 1970s, since the oil shock of 1973. The Chancellor, we're told, is still going to stick with his growth forecasts, and I'm not quite sure what he's going to do to change any of that. He's going to raise national insurance, we're told. He may cut fuel duty, but if he does that, that's all really rather complex. We already have the most complicated tax system in the world, and it needs simplifying, especially for businesses who spend far too much of their time dealing with administration. And we need real business reforms. And when I talk about that, I'm not talking about giant multinational companies. I'm talking about the 5.5 million people out there, some of you watching this program right now, who run their own businesses, act as sole traders. It is time for the Brexit dividend to be cashed in. Across sector after sector, there are so many EU rules that could be got rid of or simplified to allow people in business to go out, make money and employ people. And we need to end green subsidies. Every household this year will pay several £100s in those green subsidies that I talked about at length last week here on this programme. That would leave every household several £100s a year better off and in a slightly better position to face the undoubted tough times that are coming up ahead. That's my short little wish list. You tell me, what would you like to see in this spring statement? Farage at gbnews.uk.